Hello, everybody. My name is Katherine Barrell, and I am joined by my very charming co-star, Tyler Hynes.
Hi, Kat. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
We are so excited, guys, for you to join us for this live and for you to all see our new movie. It's called Shifting Gears, and it is part of Hallmark's Spring into Love. And we've got a couple of questions in front of us here that Hallmark has sent our way. So, Tyler, if you are ready, shall we dive in?
You're so good at this. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, I've never hosted one of these before.
You're crushing it right out the gate.
Yeah, I'm not going to quit my day job anytime soon, though.
You should. This is it.
I should just move on. Okay, here we go. So, first question is, my character, whose name is Jess, is a very talented car mechanic who will do anything to save her family's repair shop from closing. Can I share a little bit more about how she tries to save her father's business? So Jess has inherited this amazing business from her father that has been passed down, and they have a beautiful family repair shop. And like many small businesses, I think with the economy and all prices going up, they're at serious risk of losing their space. The rent's increasing. There's a lot of competition in the area to get garage space. And so Jess is kind of looking for a way to make some money really quickly. And she gets approached by a TV producer played by Ray Galletti. And he has a proposal for her to join his classic car restoration show. So it's sort of like a reality competition. And the prize happens to be $50,000. And this is, of course, the money that would save the shop. So Jess decides to go against her better judgment and her massive fear of crowds and compete in this competition.
You're so good at this. It should be noted to everybody watching this that Kat is, in her own right, a very talented director and filmmaker. This is why she could so eloquently recall a movie that we made however many months ago prior
Come
to
on,
you
you
going
could
off and
recall
directing.
it. Dig in there.
Not with that amount of detail and eloquence. No, certainly not. I was really, really good.
Oh, thank you, my friend. So yeah,
Yes.
so okay, well now it's your time to shine. Let's see. Let's see those hosting abilities.
Yeah, don't do that. It's gonna go all downhill from here. All right, Jess is surprised to run into her ex-boyfriend Luke, who is competing in the same TV reality show. Tell us more about our character's reunion and the competition. Well, first of all, this TV show host is played by the talented Ray, who is your husband.
My husband.
Which was a lovely,
my wonderful husband.
What a beautiful circumstance. How did that come about that Ray ended up being the star of the movie?
He auditioned and got cast, and Crystal and the team picked him.
Was it something where when he auditioned, were you already signed on to the movie, or was that something?
I was signed on, so they knew. I don't know if they knew. I told Crystal. I said, I don't know if it was that he had already gotten the breakdown or if they had made a request for him or they were going to cast where we shot. I can't quite remember, but I did tell Crystal, I said, my husband's sending in a tape. I'm flagging it for you because he actually hosts, he has a cooking show in real life, and he's actually a host in real life. And I think he's perfect for this part. And I was very clear. I was like, listen, no nepotism, you pick who you want to pick. This is not me putting any pressure on you, but I want to make sure you see his tape. And then Crystal, they went through all the producers and they all picked him, not knowing it was my husband. And then I went to the network and they picked him and not knowing it was my husband, which is great, which is what I wanted. I was like, please don't tell anybody. I want him to, everyone to get a fair chance. However, I just want to make sure you guys see this tape because it's actually really awesome and you need to watch it.
Oh yeah. Do you guys have the audition tape?
I'm sure Ray has it. Maybe, I don't know. He might have deleted it by now, but yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you guys should
Yeah.
release the audition tape and let's
And
see his
see
audition
what it
for
is.
the
It's
movie.
just very him. Like, he's a very good host, and I really want somebody to give him another hosting job because he's
Oh,
really good at it.
I don't think that that will be a challenge. The man was built for that job. My
Yeah,
goodness.
totally.
All right. Tell us our characters' reunion and the competition. Okay, so our reunion is spicy, as these things sometimes
Mhm.
are. There's a lot of water under that bridge, as one might imagine, uh, having had a previous relationship, and and in terms of the competition, I think that you know, let the best mechanic win is what it comes down to,
Yeah.
and I think the audience as well as Luke will be rooting for your character as he should be and as they should be. And I
I
don't
don't
think they'll
know
be
though. You
disappointed.
looked pretty great coming in on that. Was that a Harley? Was it an
Yeah, it
actual
was.
Harley?
It was a
It was a
vintage Harley.
really I was a little jealous. I was like, I want to ride that thing.
Oh, because you were there on the day that we were doing that.
No, I wasn't
Oh,
there. So I
yes.
just saw it when I saw the trailer. It looks so good. That's you, right? You have your motorcycle license, right?
I do when I have a Harley. This is a different a year it's an older bike. That's true. Yeah, you weren't there for the day that we were shooting at the office and on the side of the highway.
Was
Yeah,
very like perfect introduction for Luke because you saw immediately who he really is and what he really loves. And then you have
yeah,
this like crisp suit on. And I thought
yeah,
it was the perfect image to introduce your character because you can already see the battle that I remember talking to you so much about when we were, kind of like working on the script and having that first initial meeting with Crystal and talking about some of the scenes. And I remember it was really important to you that you really saw that juxtaposition between the family life and like who he really wanted to be. And that's
yeah,
what I loved so much about your character and the way that you approached playing that character is that the center of that was like, but this is who I really am, and that's not going to change. So I can't fit into this box. I have to find my own way to be part of this business. So yeah, I just thought it was like the perfect opening image for your character.
well, I love that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie yet, Kathy?
I've seen the first probably like half hour of it, and now I have
Okay.
to, yeah, and now I gotta finish it and watch the rest. But it's really, have you seen it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
does it feel like what you had pictured it to be?
Yeah, it does. It really does. I really love the reality show competition stuff. I love
Yeah,
that world. I love the introductions of the characters. I love the other mechanics, all the guys
I
who
know.
were on the show. Like, it's just such a
Yeah,
fun ensemble cast. And there's so much comedy in it that I think is shining through, which I really, really
yeah.
loved.
How good
Um,
is Steve? How good is Steve?
he's so good. Oh my gosh,
Did you did
What was Steve's character?
did you get to the football scene or no?
Yeah, 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 I did. He's
Okay.
so funny. He's so deadpan and funny. He did such a
Were
great
you
job.
were you there when he kept getting hit in the face with the ball?
I mean, I was physically there, but I didn't see you
You
guys
didn't see this? Oh
shooting
my
that.
gosh.
No.
So we're doing this scene and we sort of designed it and we sort of made up that part of it where we're tossing and I was like, I'll throw it at him and then Steve was just naturally not reacting because he's the gangster that he is and just
Yeah.
so in character. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then Carlisle was going to be the one to throw it to him and like hit him in the chest and like have him just like not put his arms up and
Oh,
react.
man.
But he goes to throw it and just nails him right in the face
Oh,
so
no.
hard. And we're all crying. We're all crying and we're keeping the camera rolling. We're like, do it again, do it again. And I'm like, Carlisle, you got to get closer. You got to make sure you don't. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, do you want me to step in? He's like, no, 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 I got this. I got this.
Yeah.
Goes to do it again, hits him in the face harder this time, like
Mhm.
twice as hard as the first time. And it's the one that's in the movie. And it's so, so
So
funny.
funny.
And I'm so glad it ended up in there.
Oh my
And
god.
this thing of it hitting him in the face and then
Yeah.
me tossing to him and him sort of spontaneously catching. I loved it so much. I love
Yeah.
those guys. They were lovely.
They were
And
amazing. We had such a great ensemble cast
I
with
agree.
everybody and Kristen coming in, and it was just such a amazing group of people, of actors that we got to work with.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the movie does a really great job of, is just like showcasing those performances. Sorry, what were you?
I was going to say, how good was Ray as the host? You got the first
he was
time
great.
How good is
he was so great. Yeah, he was great.
That's amazing.
He's definitely like in his perfect niche.
In his zone, man. It's like that's a thing I could never do, and he pulls it off so well.
We had some quite long chunks too. We were watching it a little bit together. We started, and then we had to go get our son, but but that was one of the things. I was like, oh wow, you really did have like really large chunks of dialogue. I was like, yeah,
he had a lot.
I really remember that stuff.
Yeah. Every day on set, he had to like bring all that energy. It was pretty impressive to watch live, man.
Well, thank you. I will tell him that you said that. You will.
Please do.
Okay, here we go. Question number 3. Jess and Luke's different viewpoints start to arise when they first enter the competition. But as the show progresses, how does their participation help heal old wounds? Ooh.
What do you think? I mean, I feel like we don't want to give away too much.
I know, I don't want to give away too much. So I'm like, how do I?
But it is a lovely part of the story. I thought that is kind of what happens.
Yeah, I think seeing how much they need each other, especially if I'll speak for Jess, I think seeing how much she needs Luke. There's a lot of lovely moments where I say, you know, I don't think I could do this crazy thing without you. He is her centering force. Jess really struggles with being in front of a crowd. She works in her shop. She's with her cars all day. She's not, you know, up posting a TV show, and she's not on camera, and she's like very clearly very uncomfortable with the whole thing. But she desperately needs to try to win this competition, and she can, and she has the skills to do so. But I think Luke being there, she knows that if he wasn't there, if she didn't have that calming force of Luke's presence, she probably couldn't do it. And I think that remembering how much they need each other to be the best versions of themselves is kind of what becomes the most apparent as the story goes on.
How was it having Ray on set with you while we were doing this movie? It was like maybe this is a good time to sort of share it. I had this conversation with Kat prior because I want to be conscientious of what, you know, she wants to share with audiences and whatnot. But Kat, what I thought was such a really beautiful part of this movie that was so much kind of a celebration of so many talented women and the director's program, and Kat being a director in her own right, and you know, she was pregnant while we were making this movie, and it was, you know, no small task to make a movie unto itself, let alone to be pregnant, and let alone to also be getting sick, because everybody was getting colds at this time. And watching you overcome this amount of responsibility in this circumstance, I just thought was like poetry. It was just like this beautiful thing to be happening on this movie that was surrounded and ushered in and overseen and led by women, and to have it star, you know, making a child while we were doing this is just like, it was just the most incredible thing, I thought. And I thought, what a beautiful thing that Ray, this really talented actor who no one else could do this part, is also happens to be on this movie when you guys are going to have this moment, and you're going to have this time capsule of this experience when you guys got, you know, this news and went on this journey. I just thought, this is crazy. So what was it like having Ray on set while doing this?
Gosh, you are the sweetest, kindest. I could not have asked for a kinder, more just conscious, gentle co-star. I really mean that. Like, it was not easy. I was very sick while we were shooting this movie. I was really sick. I was at the early stage of my pregnancy, and I was very nauseous. I remember one morning, poor Mike, our producer, Mike Barbuto, there was this drugstore at the base of the hotel we were staying at, and I also caught whatever this horrible flu cold thing that was going around. So I was like super nauseous with my pregnancy. I was very, very sick. Ray and I were there. We had our young son with us. My parents were there. It was really like the whole circus really rolled up to do this movie. And we were all very sick. And I remember I was just had this horrible cold, and I had all these. I mean, you can't take much when you're pregnant, but I had like whatever natural drugs ish I could have. And I literally turned around and almost bumped into Mike at the drugstore, and he could see I was really sick because I hadn't told anybody yet. And he could see that I was really sick. And I was like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. I'm just going to tell you, I'm really, really sick. I have a really bad flu, cold, fever, whatever is going on. I'm also, I don't know how pregnant I was at that point, 9-10 weeks pregnant, maybe. And he has 2 kids, so he got it right away. And I could see his whole face just sort of go white. And I was like, I'm okay. We're going to make it through. But I just think at this time, you guys should know, I had told Crystal. I had told her because I wasn't, it was early days, and I didn't want people being worried until there was something to worry about, if there ever was.
And also a very personal thing.
It's a very personal thing, and early pregnancy, and so many things can happen. And so that poor man, I think I scared the crap out of him that day. But
Mike woke up that morning thinking he's gonna have like car problems to worry about during this movie.
Okay. But they were so good. You were so kind. Everyone was so gentle and accommodating and understanding, and which is hard for me because I think I'm a person who wants to be like, don't worry about it, I got it. But I think, having, as you said, so many women on this project, so many mothers on this project, so many parents, people have gone through it and get it. I felt incredibly supportive. It was so wonderful to have my partner there with me, because when you're feeling like that, that's a huge comfort. And and I'm so grateful. And I've said this to you many times, but I'm so grateful for how kind and just complimentary and encouraging and understanding you were of the whole process, and of me not being able to, maybe show up how I always wanted to, or maybe having to be a bit more quiet or having to lay down. It was really so awesome to feel so supported in that. So very public thank you as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think the understatement, or the understatement of a lifetime, is to say that the fact that you're able to do all this,
thanks,
as well as you did, is such an achievement. And again, I think I can't imagine anything but like a new benchmark in your life to be able to go, in these kinds of circumstances. Here I am, being able to turn in this kind of performance with this kind of responsibility and schedule. Like, there's
thank you.
a few times I think somebody gets challenged like that, and what a beautiful thing that happened on this movie.
You're being too. I don't know how to handle this. Too many compliments. So it's very sweet of you. Thank you.
I'll stop.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All
right.
Yeah. Jess is unsure of her mechanic ability when she competes in the show. How does Luke play a part in her journey as she starts to regain her confidence? I think that Luke is there for her. I think in whatever. It's funny because, people having not watched the movie, they don't really know, but I suppose it still maybe resonate once they watch it. But yeah, I think Luke from the onset just wanted to be near your character. Mm-hmm. And I think, the business, whatever pleasure he might get from playing around under a hood, was all sort of second to the idea that he was holding out hope that, maybe there was a world where we could be friends again. I don't even think he dreamt that being together would be a thing. So I think just being able to be in some sort of circumstance with you was why he was there. And I think from the onset really wanted to encourage and support your character, I think. But you guys be the judge when you watch the movie with all of his little snide comments, Luke, come on now.
Come on, Luke. He's
Playing hard
protecting
to
his
get.
heart a little bit.
Yeah. Let your walls down, Luke. Just
Light
let
your
her in.
walls. Mm.
Okay.
I love that.
The
That he
next.
just wanted to be near her. And I definitely got that from watching it back and seeing, yeah, I think it was always very apparent that he was like, it's really not about this for me, it's about her.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you noticed that. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah, I
glad that came
really
through.
did. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it totally did. Um, okay, number 5. One of the biggest highlights in this movie are the different classic cars that are showcased. Do you have a favorite one? I mean, I loved my Thunderbird because I think Crystal, our amazing director, picked that car for Jess because it is the car. I don't know if it's the exact car or in the lineage of the car from Thelma and Louise.
Oh, is that right?
That I'm pretty sure that's what she told me, that that's why she picked that car. Excuse me,
I
that
love
car
that.
for Jess. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And which I just thought was really cool. And Crystal's she had so many little details in there and like little things like that that she wanted. And I think it was I really loved my car and for the reasons that of why Crystal. I feel like in the script it might have been a different car. I can't quite remember the first time I read it. But what did you have again? Did you have some sort of Corvette?
I don't know. I liked your car too. Listen to
I
that
like my
story.
car. Yeah.
Thelma and Louise, what a way cooler story than whatever possible one mind can have. I'm sure not even nearly as cool as that. And plus yours had yours got
It was cool.
your character's beautiful paint touch,
Yeah.
which you'll have to tune in to see.
Yes, that's a big reveal. All right, you're
Um,
up.
okay. Shifting Gears is also part of Make Her Mark Women's directing program, founded by Ashley Williams.
Yeah.
Can we share our experience having Crystal Lowe be our director?
Great segue.
I think I think given that you are a talented director and an artist, I think this would be a question most suited for you to speak on.
What? No, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Come on, you go and then I'll go.
Okay. Crystal had an enthusiasm, an openness. She's an actor and thus cares a lot about performance. And watching somebody in her position be given the opportunity to be able to have the support around her, uh, but to allow her to find her own voice. And there's no easy way to make your first film as a director. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a very I feel like it's underrated in terms of its appreciation, even though we love directors and we appreciate them very much. I think writers and directors do so very much and editors, to be honest, do so much to tell these stories. And there's no other way to do it than to go in there and do it, and to watch her navigate that amount of pressure and logistical hurdles and try to maintain her enthusiasm. I just was very excited for her to get some serious rest when the movie ended, and I would love to see her face when the movie premieres, so that she can, feel like hopefully that's a bookend to what was probably a challenging but rewarding experience. Uh, Certainly the reason why I signed up, and was not disappointed and very, very thrilled that I could be a part of her journey and your journey as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, so well said. I think watching Crystal direct her first feature, it's a big deal for a director. And I think I remember reading the script and being like, whoo, this is not an easy movie to direct because you have the world of the reality TV and the classic cars, and the scope is really big, and there's an ensemble cast, and it's not a simple shoot. And you have like, how do you show the time pass with all these different cars and their evolution? I think we had 11 picture cars that
Yeah.
were like doubles of each other, so they would be our cars as we were restoring them at different phases, right? Of
Yeah.
something
Yep.
like that. And just a lot of logistics. And I think it was so, I mean, you touched on it, so wonderful working with an actor director. I really do think actor directors make the best directors because they get it on such a deep level. They understand emotional arc of characters and how that has to come first, and how no matter how beautifully you shoot anything, it doesn't really matter if the audience isn't invested in the arc and the story and the journey of these characters. And I think I always find it so amazing to work with actor directors, and Crystal was no exception to that. And she was so, like you said, just so energetic, so passionate, showed up every day with a lot of creative ideas. And okay, if this doesn't work, let's try it this way, which is the hardest thing to do as a director, when you have to pivot when things don't go as planned. And that's one of the biggest parts of the job. And I think she was always open to collaboration and feedback and questions. And I can't wait to see what she does next. She killed it. She did an amazing job. And I think she did Ashley very proud. And I love hearing her talk about her experience. We just had a call the other day, and she's like, I want to do another one. I'm ready to do another one. I want to do another one. So she's off. She's launched. I can't wait to see what happens next for her. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of this movie? Like, do you have any moments? Because you went through so much during this movie.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, what was your sort of takeaway? Is there any sort of moment that stands out to you as being
Such a
something unique to this movie?
Yeah. I think, I have so many. I really loved, what I loved about the character of Jess was that she was sort of this, and I hate the, female director, female mechanic, female that, like, I know it's important to acknowledge. And then sometimes you're like, oh, you want to push past it. What I loved was seeing a woman in this traditionally man's field. I thought that was really cool about the character. I love classic cars purely from a beautiful aesthetic. I know nothing about them. I would be a terrible classic car owner, but I mean, it's such an incredible, fun world to play in. So I love that kind of fish out of water element for this character. But like, all my favorite days on set were when we were all together doing the reality show.
Oh yeah,
With
those are
the
the first few days,
guys,
right?
the comedy beats, the when they had those sparkler, whatever those things were, those like crazy explosion
Sparks.
boxes, the
Yeah,
spark boxes. I loved the showmanship of it all, and I loved watching Crystal get really excited about all that. And then my next favorite day was probably the football day when we were at that house, and we had that really lovely scene by the fire, and then we had that great scene in the I don't know what that was called, like the sunroom of that home. I just thought we had some really beautiful, like, acting connected scenes where you could really dig as an actor when we were at that house. And those were also some of my favorite days. What about yourself? What were some of yours?
For me, my family's never been really on set. Like my nieces and my nephews, certainly not. My brother, don't remember the last time. Maybe maybe never. So yeah, I was struck that day when we were doing those scenes outside, and I turned and I saw my nieces, and I was finding myself getting immediately emotional, which I buried down deep, did some push-ups and shook it off. But yeah, just seeing them on set was like, I don't know, something came over me I didn't see coming. You don't know this, but you had to go change, and so I had to do the rest of that scene with nobody.
What?
Yeah,
That.
you had to go change,
Yeah.
and my nieces were explaining to me that they weren't that impressed, and that I could probably do what I do probably quite easily. And so I gave the oldest one the lines, and I said, "See if you can learn these lines enough that you can read them, like in succession, reasonably. You think you could do that?"
Yeah.
And then I kept sort of doing something else or whatever. And then I was going to have her stand on an apple box and be you off camera
No
and read your
way.
lines. Yeah.
Did she do it?
No, I saw her starting to get a little bit nervous, and I started to go like, you know, I'm decent at what I do, but I might even botch this, and I don't think we have the time to sort of mess around with my my little whims to get my niece to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this. So we had our first AD. She read the lines, but
Oh, okay.
it was that close. That was that close to having her do your part. But that
Oh,
day
man,
was meant a
that
lot to
day.
have her
And your
there.
mom
Yeah,
got to come a lot. Your mom was on set a lot because you were close to where she lives, so it was convenient
yeah,
for her.
yeah. She the
Yeah.
first day she was not invited, and she told me she wasn't going to come. But she said,
Really?
yeah, she was like, I'm
Weird.
gonna like, I want you to get settled. I want
Yeah,
you to like, get in the groove before I come in. And then I showed up on the days that you were talking about when we were doing the
yeah.
game show, and she was just there looking at me. I was like, "What are you
No
doing?"
way.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing here? What
Aw.
happened to coming like in a few days from now?" And she just
Yeah,
couldn't help it. She was like, "I just can't. You're here, and you're so close, and I can't." And I said, "Of course, just do whatever you want." And everybody was
right.
very kind and accommodating. But yeah, it was a pretty magical experience. And you got to admit here, your family was there. You're
Yeah,
pregnant.
yeah,
My family's there. My nieces are in the movie. Your
yeah.
husband's in the movie. Like this has got to be.
It was a real
This might
family
be.
affair.
This might be the only time that this happens this way with this amount of like you
Family.
know
Yeah.
family involved.
Yeah, totally. Oh, it's so
Right.
special. It was so cool to see your nieces on set and have them in that scene.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
fun, right?
like that was really cool, and just a nice moment of, like, the future mechanics and it was lovely.
Yeah.
They did such a
Yeah.
great job, they were so chill about it too. I mean, I don't know if they were
Again,
nervous, they were hiding it very well.
that's what I'm saying. They're right. They proved me wrong. They are better than me at this job, and they could probably do
See?
it very easily.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
we had the opportunity to compete in any competition series, what would be the theme of the show and one of the challenges? This is for me, right?
That's for you.
Um, uh, okay, competition show, dog show, um, challenge. Uh, take the smallest dogs and see which small dog could eat the most food in the shortest period of time. Like a hot dog eating competition, but for like really small dogs. That would be my first challenge. How about yourself?
Would you enter your own dog?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of this because
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Rusty, and I know how much he would absolutely demolish our backyard after I did something like this for him, but how much he would enjoy every minute of it. Yeah. What do you got?
Amazing. For me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Competition show, and
competition
what would be a challenge?
show. Does it have? I mean, yours is so funny and hilarious and specific. What would it be? What would it be? Mm, I don't know. I really like I'm obsessed with. I have a very old house, and I love like interior
Yeah, I was gonna
design
say,
competitions. You know what
yeah,
show I always
renovations.
wanted to do? This
What's
is my
that?
pitch. This is for
Yeah,
IKEA. IKEA, if you're listening.
yeah.
I think it would be really fun to do a show with couples racing against the clock to put together IKEA furniture. Because
Oh,
there's
just
nothing that is
yes.
gonna test your relationship like putting together some IKEA furniture.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And they would have a competition and they would have to like maybe it's new couples or maybe it's newlyweds or maybe it's engaged couples and they could furnish their home with IKEA, but it was a race to go and you have to get the pieces and then they like plant the wrong box and you come home and you realize you got like something for the Billy bookcase, but you needed the Hermes dresser and the not the Hermes dresser, the Hemnes dresser or whatever it is. This is my pitch. So
And then you put the H instead of the G
yeah.
side of the cabinet, and it's the wrong. It looks the exact same, but there's
Yeah.
one little hole that's slightly different, and
Yes.
then the
See?
screw that looks just like the other one, but no, there's one extra one, and that's why that one is there. And if you really studied it, you would have known this.
No.
This is a great idea for a
Yeah.
show. At the very least, this could be like a challenge in The Bachelor or something that could
Yes.
destroy relationships.
At the
Just put
very least.
everybody to the edge. Yeah.
Everyone's
All right.
true colors come out when they're putting together IKEA furniture.
Amen. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Okay, are you ready for some rapid fire?
Let's do it.
All right. So this is the last part of our chat. We're going to do rapid fire. It's a game of this or that inspired by shifting gears and the spring into love season. So I'm going to ask you these. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Star Trek pillow, Star Wars. Oh my gosh, Star Wars.
Yeah, I just realized that myself.
Cute.
I'm a 37-year-old man, Kat. This is
I love it.
not becoming.
This is your movie room. Well, it's not. It's your office. I don't know. I don't actually know, but I'm assuming.
Yeah, something like that. All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Motorcycle or classic car?
Motorcycle. Easy. You?
Restore a car or buy a new car?
Oh, buy a new one. Too lazy.
Yeah. Host a car competition show or participate in a car competition show?
Participate. Least hosting I got to do, the better for everybody.
I agree with you there. I'm also a participant. Roller
All right,
skate or air hockey?
Let me do one for you. Roller skate or air hockey?
Okay, air hockey. Oh man, that roller skating scene.
You loved that, didn't you?
I practiced really hard and I was so scared of falling. Okay, next one.
Attend a meditation class or relax by a campfire?
I would choose the campfire.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you ever meditate? You ever do like meditation classes?
I've tried the apps, I've tried the classes, it just doesn't stick. The campfire under the stars, the smell, the s'mores. There's probably an element for me of like the s'mores too.
Yep.
In there, Yeah.
It's pretty meditative. It's pretty much the same.
Same.
All right, let's wrap this up. Here we go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Tyler and I are very excited for you guys to watch the premiere of Shifting Gears on Hallmark. Tyler, why don't you tell everybody where and when they can see it?
Thank you, Kat. You can tune in this Saturday, March 23rd at 8/7 Central, only on Hallmark Channel.
Amazing.
We'll be there.
We will see you guys there, and I will be tweeting along using the hashtag Shifting Gears. My handle is at Kat Barrell, KatBarrell. Everyone else is an imposter. That's the one.
Thank you, Kat. I appreciate you saying that. Yes, everybody, please be safe on the internet. I will be live tweeting as well. Tyler_Hynes. Please be careful out there. Look after loved ones. If you know somebody who might be confused about who the person is speaking to, if they're speaking to one of us, please send them to one of our verified social media accounts where we would link to the other social media accounts that are the actual accounts and not any other ones. And none of us would ever ask for anything other than, well, nothing. So just please be careful out there. It is a wild world on the internet. Definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Kat, it's been a pleasure.
What a pleasure. I hope you love this movie.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.